See you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. See you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. What's the point of putting your money into it if it's not gonna last? Always ask. There's many competing for world dominance. I believe China has all the cash. Today we're talking about Bitcoin. Today we're talking about Coin. Today we're talking about chip chain coin. If you want to know how much forward, see you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. It came up as a scam of some sort. Token that's trying to change the world. One thing I don't think I mentioned, they'd start with good intentions. Today we're talking about Matic Coin. Today we're talking about Alron Coin. Today we're talking about Aeon Coin. If you want to know how much forward, subscribe. See you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency.
See you in the future, very good.
Subscribe.
Not a scam, go buy some Cardano.
Subscribe.
See you in the future, very good.
Subscribe.
Not a scam, go buy some Cardano.
Is this gonna last that 10-year mark? In short time, it came up in the cards. Tracking goods from point A to point B. New cycle with cryptocurrencies. Because it's fairly unknown to the majority of people on the planet Earth. Most people barely know what an Ethereum is. Hi, this is Green's Monitor, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do prediction for you, let me know in the comments below. Just a reminder, we do lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central and on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark that down on your calendar. Let's get started with the first issue, and bless you. Now, I guess everybody's asking the question about Bitcoin and is it going to go down some more and all that sort of thing. Will it ever go back up? Of course it's going to go back up. This is not the first time we've ever had this sort of situation in the Bitcoin space. If you all remember 2017, this sort of thing happened. But a lot of new different things are happening this time around. It's a little bit different this time around because we have a lot of other things going on around the world and other markets where the Federal Reserve just announced that, yep, we're in a recession, something that we've been saying all along for quite some time here on this channel and many of the other videos like video YouTube hosts like myself out there are been saying the same thing for quite some time. So that's going to be a factor. Food shortages are going to be a factor. The rise of gasoline is going to be a factor. And people are going to start to realize that even though cryptocurrencies are hitting the bottom. It's so much better than fiat currencies at this moment in time. Okay, because it's all based on purchasing power. Bitcoin, especially, holds its purchasing power much, much better than any other currency that's around. Okay, and no other cryptocurrency, or excuse me, fiat currency can give you the gains of Bitcoin if you are patient with it. Me and the wife bought ours in 2016 at $600 Canadian. That's Bitcoin, of course. And we just sat on it. Okay. We didn't need it right away. We waited for 7 years. And now it's 24,000 Canadian today. So just sitting on it, we've probably made more money than any RRSP, if you know what those are, and you're from Canada, or a 401k, and makes more money back than most mutual funds that are out there. Okay, I used to be in the mutual fund game as a financial advisor way back in 2017, and we all know what happened then. There's no other mutual fund or stock or bond that can give you the returns of Bitcoin. So think of that as we go forward, as we're looking at the Bitcoin. Should you buy it right now? Yeah. Always buy low, sell high, right? We all know this phrase, but we got to put it into practice, okay? we when it actually comes to the buying of, when it's something's low, everybody, oh, I don't know. You have to switch your thinking around to where you buy it when it's low, because it's going to go back up. Okay, it's like the stock market. It has these boom bust cycles. That is part of the game. The rich elites know this, and right now they're buying Bitcoin at alarming rates at this moment in time, as their old system starts to collapse. Should we get into Bitcoin too? Or should we just in jail ourselves into the old system and really take those bumps along the way, bumps and lumps, as the old system collapses? Or should we get some Bitcoin and try to preserve our capital, our finances, in a much better way? And when it starts to go back up, it's going to go up much more than most mutual funds or stocks or bonds. There are 100% mutual funds that are out there, but you need $100,000 to get into them. I remember them coming across my desk back in the day, and they're very risky. They're basically investing in third world countries and that sort of thing. So if that third world country goes to war, your whole thing collapses. So it's more volatile than Bitcoin would ever be. Okay, so let's have a look at the Bitcoin. I know everybody it's going to go down lower. I don't know by how much, but it's going to go down lower, and it's going to give everybody very good purchasing or buying opportunities. That's what we like to say here on this channel. Lots of good buying opportunities for everybody watching and for everybody in the world. Great, amazing purchasing opportunities for cheap Bitcoin. Okay. And we all go to the store. We always wait for the things to go on sale, right? Me and my wife, we go shopping. She looks for the deals. She looks for the sales. She clips the coupons. She does all that wonderful stuff to save a couple bucks. you should put that mentality into purchasing your cryptocurrencies and other stocks and bonds and all that sort of thing. Okay, it's on sale. Okay, that's the way you should be thinking about it. So let's have a look at Bitcoin for the next little while. So the health of Bitcoin at this moment in time, and this is going to be for the next month or two going forward. Yes, it's going to go down. It's at the end of a cycle. So whatever it was doing recently, so in the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to be seeing a change. So 10 cards are always a change of a cycle. So when the change of the cycle, whatever it's doing right now, okay, it's going to start to do the opposite within the next 2 to 3 months. Okay, maybe a little longer, but and this is because of all the work. Wands or rods are always a card that represents physical labor, getting in there, getting it done, that sort of situation. Right next to that is the Knight of Pentacles, and he's waiting. Pentacles are all about finances. They're all about financial gain. Okay. And if you look at the guy on the horse, he's not charging, he's not doing anything, he's just waiting for the right moment. Okay. So this is the right moment to get into the Bitcoin as we get into the next phase. Put it back on the screen where that horse is going to start galloping. Okay. So this is the moment in time when you should be buying up your Bitcoin right now. And we're waiting for the starting gate to get launched. We were at the horse races the other day. Well, the place, that's where the fireworks were. And waiting for the horses to start their race. All right. Of course, a lot of people are walking away from the whole thing because they're worried that Bitcoin's going to go to zero and blah, 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 and all that sort of thing. But it's going to start to do the opposite, and everybody's going to get in too late. Okay, they're going to buy it high. Okay, so make sure you tell your friends to get it now. Try to convince them, because everybody has that opposite thinking. You only buy it when it's up, and then you sell it when it's crashing. You should do always the opposite to that, and that's how you're going to make pretty good money with this. Okay, so the financial part of this is that hard work is going to be paying off in the next 3 to 4 months' time. And people are going to start to realize it's probably the best place to park your money for the long term, because the old financial system has to play out. Okay, it has to fall down dead, fall flat on its face, the old financial system, which it needs to do. Okay. When the old system collapses, and it will, it's in a way healthy, but it's going to put a lot of people in a bad spot. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't like to see that for people. Okay. If they were smart, they would put their money into the Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Just moving forward, don't worry about the cups and the dips and all that sort of thing. Just buy your cryptocurrencies at this moment in time. This is the summer of buying your cryptocurrencies at a good cheap price, because we're never going to see these cheap prices again. Okay, at this moment in time, this is the moment in time where the average person could purchase one Bitcoin with some struggle. They might have to stretch a little bit to get that amount of money. Okay. But it's doable. After this moment in time, okay, it's like a little snapshot of our future and history and all that. You probably will never ever get own one Bitcoin for the average person. Okay. What else going on? The people that are involved in this, they know that Bitcoin is going to go sky high in a certain amount of time. That's why all the elites are getting into Bitcoin like crazy. Okay, you hear it on the news all the time that this celebrity is getting into Bitcoin, that celebrity is getting into Bitcoin, this rich guy is getting into Bitcoin. I wonder if we should get into Bitcoin, right? It's not rocket science. Don't listen to what they're telling you. Watch what they're doing. Okay? Always the elites. And that's going to be moving everything forward at a great pace. Of course, they're buying their Bitcoin over the counter, so it doesn't affect the price on the markets. When people start to buy in, and that could be you, okay, in great amounts, you can move the price sky high by everybody purchasing. It doesn't have to be a whole Bitcoin. It can be $5-10 at a time, right? Try to creep that price back up and stop living in fear and start being greedy. Okay. We got the start card with the people, so it's going to be the fan favorite, okay, of many people around the world. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to tell you, "Told you so." Okay. And then regulations are going to be very, very light on Bitcoin because nobody knows who these people who created Bitcoin are. And that's a benefit to the cryptocurrency Bitcoin space. Okay. It's supposed to protect you from governments and banking cartel. So, yes, this is the time you get your Bitcoin. Don't worry about price and all the is it going to be low at this? Don't worry about it. Just get it. Okay? No, of course, not financial advice, but this is the moment in time to start to get that Bitcoin. A little bit at a time if you need to. Okay? Thank you for that question. So somebody was asking about Saitama Inu. Just a reminder to everybody, everything with the Inu name, there's going to be a lot of scams coming down the line because they're utilizing the name Inu. And it has nothing related to Shiba Inu. Okay? Be aware of this. Don't hop onto any cryptocurrency that has the Inu name because you think it's going to go up and it's going to go amazing. And be aware. Okay? But let's have a look at this one. Overall, is it going to last? Is it going to be making the short-term cash? Is it going to be a long-term thing? Okay? I only like to get into those long-term things. Okay? I don't like short, fast cash because it usually blows up in many people's faces. Okay? And that's why I don't really deal with the short-term stuff. I'm always looking for the long game. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Ooh, some interesting cards. So the health of this is very interesting. We got the tower. Ooh, and look what they're jumping out of the windows. The building's on fire. There's lightning and stuff. Should I go on? Okay. So in the next year or so, we're going to see a situation where they're going to have a very big downturn because of stuff. Okay. Like many of these Inu copies, they're going to be showing their true colors. And they're not going to be doing as well as the original Shiba Inu. And Shiba Inu at the moment is kind of shaky at the moment anyways. It will survive everything. It be the one that survives everything that's going on, but many of the copies are not. Okay, so just beware of the Shiba Inu clones that are out there. I think after that drop off, they're going to be building in the background. Financially, in the short term, not the long term, I think there's going to be some gains to be had, but it's only short term. Okay, I don't think it's going to be one of these coins that's going to last forever and ever and ever and ever like a Bitcoin. It's going to have a short lifespan. Get in, make your money, and get out. And then with the people, there's a lot of confusion going on. With everything going on, that's the confusion card. Everybody going every which way. Going, oh, we go this way, we go that way, which causes arguments and disagreements and all that wonderful stuff in the background. Okay. So with that, there's going to be a moment in time where it's going to crash, and then it's going to pop up again, and then it's going to go away. And that could be within the next year or so. Okay, so that was Saitama Inu Coin News. Okay. So somebody was asking, is New York City safe this week? It's about as safe as Winnipeg, mostly. There's a lot of things going on around the world that you watch the news and you think everything's going to pot. And once you actually go to these places, it's kind of what's going on, but not the whole story. If you came to Winnipeg, where I live, it's the murder capital of Canada. Okay, so everybody who doesn't live here wouldn't come here because, oh, I don't want to get murdered. But once you get here, it's very rare overall. Okay, for the entire populace. So be mindful of that. I remember going to Chicago with some friends for a business conference, and one of the ladies in the vehicle we were driving there with thought, as soon as you reach the border, there's bullets flying everywhere because everybody shoots everybody in Chicago. All right, so just be aware of that. Yes, there's going to be some danger if you're in certain places. I saw a lot of crows in the last 2 days. Can you do a 3-card reading on New York City for the next week?
That was the original question.
That was the original question. Okay. Crows, that's actually one of my totem animals. My native spirit name is Dancing Crow. So, just if you're wondering. 3-card reading. Yeah, there's going to be some incidents going on because of all the things that are going on there. There's some white hat activity that's trying to tame everything, and it's made to wake a lot more people up. Okay, many of the things going on and the things that they're reporting on are to wake people up and to make people realize that they've been lied to in the last 2 years about certain things and other things that are going on. So it's going to be a little hot there, but it's like many things like Chicago. It's just a small little area that was affected. It's not the entire city. Okay. So yes, just stay out of those particular areas if you're thinking of going there for a trip or something. Just make sure that you keep yourself safe. And there's safe areas. New York City is not going to be burning to the ground. It's you have to watch the news. They blow it up to being the whole place. Okay, but it's probably just a small area, and if you just stay clear of that area, you'll be fine. Okay. There's a white hat thing, and there's some talk of them shutting or locking down things. Okay, just to have the white hats do their work, so to keep the majority of the people safe and everything that's going on in New York City. So, yeah, there's some danger always, but it's localized. So just be aware of that. Okay. Thank you for that. Coinflex. Not sure what this is. Probably an exchange or something. But let's do a little bit of a reading on it. Somebody was asking. Some very interesting cards coming up for it. It seems that the Coinflex, whatever this is, they're going to be going through a really bad situation health-wise as a whole, as the platform. I'm not sure if it's a crypto or an exchange or whatever that is. We got that wonderful devil card, meaning that they're tied to things that do not work. Okay. We also have the Tower as well. I do shuffle these cards. The Tower came up in the money situation. So if you have money in this, if it's an exchange or whatever, never ever leave your crypto on an exchange. I've said this many times. And there's some white hat activity that's surrounding many of these cryptocurrency projects. So that's happening as well. I think they're not going to be successful in what they were doing at the moment. It is the end of a cycle. So if it's been good in the last little while, I think it's going to go sour in the next little while. So if you have money in that one, it may be advisable to take it off of there and put it into cold wallet. Okay, if it's an exchange. The people that are involved in this one, they're going to be turning and going away from this project in the next little while. Okay, for whatever reason. And I think they're going to rebrand themselves and re-release everything in the next little while. Okay, so that just tells me that they're not going to have a good go of it for the next little while, and they're going to have to regain momentum with this project going forward. Maybe getting combining with something else or rebranding themselves and changing their direction. Okay, so just be aware of that going forward. Okay, so that was for Coinflex. Now, somebody was asking, will platinum get higher than gold? Okay, we all know the gold market is being suppressed and the silver market is being suppressed. Will platinum get through the barricade? I think a lot of people aren't aware of buying platinum as a way of preserving your capital. And there's going to be, we got the 10 of Cups on that. So it's the end of a cycle. I think that will be changing in the next little while to something not as good as people were expecting in the near future. In the far future, it's going to do much, much better. Okay? People are focused too much on the negative aspects of the situation, not looking at the positive. So if you look at the gentleman, he's looking at the negative aspects. All the cups are spilled down, and he's not paying attention to what's going well in the situation. Okay? But after that, we got the Page of Pentacles, which is a glimmer of hope. Okay? And it's the financial part of that whole situation, and it's going to start to go up. Okay, so it's going to go into a dip, and then it's going to go up again, like many of other things, and that's going to take some time. Okay, what we have to learn is patience with the market. Okay, buy it, sit on it, focus on other things. Okay, stop looking at it too closely. everything will work itself out. Okay? So, yes, platinum will go a little higher than gold for the next little while. Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, Joseph asked a question. He caught COVID. He just wants to know if he's going to make a quick recovery.
Oh, you got COVID. Good. It's not a bad thing. Not like the news is telling you. Okay? It's crappy getting. I had it when it first came out. And it's not fun. But if you have comorbidities, then it's something. Okay, let's see if you make that quick recovery. In due time. You'll get through it, no problem. It's just going to be, you're going to feel like a bag of you know what for the next little while. But you will get through it. Okay? Just get that bed rest, get the vitamin C and all the of your vitamins, get that bed rest, and you'll be just fine. I can't medicate or give medical advice because I'm not a doctor. You know, I do see things that can go wrong. You're going to have some buildup in the lungs and stuff. That will pass. If you can get the Staph or something. I don't know if you can say that on YouTube anymore, but you'll be able to pull through this no problem. Okay, so no problem there. 3 cards on the investment. You got all the right things in the right places. You just got to learn patience. We got that long journey ahead of us. That's what this card represents. A long journey. You got everything packed up. You got it all going well. You just got to be patient and go through the process. Okay. And this is what people tend to forget is it's a process. It's a journey. Okay, and that's what this card is representing. We also have the world card right next to that, meaning you got all the right stuff. Okay, the world is your oyster. And I guess you're worrying quite a bit, and I think you're going to come to an end of that worrying. It's the 10 card of swords, and I guess this is how you're feeling right now. You look comfortable. And that's going to be the end. You're going to end that cycle and be more confident in the things that you did do. Okay, so it's the end of a cycle of your thinking and worrying. Okay, it's the long journey. Get it, sit on it, have a good summer, or try to, and just focus on other things at the moment. Okay. Thank you for that, and hopefully that helps you out. Long-term health of Altria company stock, tobacco stock. Okay. Now, it's something that people will probably keep doing no matter what the market is doing. Even if it comes down low, it probably survived like many of the things that whatever the market is. There's items that people will always use no matter what the market is doing. And this is something that Warren Buffett tells us, even though I don't like him necessarily. There are items that will survive whatever the market is doing. And tobacco is probably one of those that will survive. And many of the other things you do are like brushing your teeth and combing your hair and shampooing your hair. Those companies will survive. Okay? So always look for companies that you believe will survive whatever the market is doing. Okay? And invest in those. Okay? Don't invest in something that it's dependent on a good market. Okay, so let's just have a look at this company. I think they're on a downturn, whatever it's doing right now. It's the end of a cycle. Okay, we got the 10 card. That's right, that up. They're going to be correcting themselves, the company-wise. I think the stock is a good time to get in. Some good buying opportunities for it. Not financial advice, of course. And the financial part is going to play itself out. Again, don't look too heavily into things, but it will recover. Okay, they'll make their changes within their organization to keep them going throughout the recession. Okay, like many of these other companies, they have to change things around to keep themselves alive and thrive in any market. Okay, so whenever they make an announcement, oh, we're going to be laying off a certain amount of people, and that affects the price. Okay, and they're going to have to go through that, so giving us some good buying opportunities in the next little while for this company. And then you just sit on it and just gotta wait. Be patient. So yes, it's going to do well. Okay, thank you for that, David. When will altcoins go up? That won't be for some time. I was picking up into the winter season, so spring, or not spring, fall, winter, next spring. So it's going to be in that period of time when everything starts to go back up. Okay, let's throw some cards for more clarity. We've done this reading a few times. And that's going to go along with the Bitcoin and all that sort of thing as well. Yeah, everybody's thinking that there's this altcoin season and the Bitcoin season, they switch. And that thinking is not going to get you too far anymore. We got the Devil card, which is a card that represents holding on to ideas that do not work for you anymore. My friend yesterday, stop waving the card around so much. So I'll try to hold it steady for everybody. So there's the Devil card, meaning we're tied to such thoughts and ideas that do not work for us. Overall, I don't think there's going to be this altcoin season and the Bitcoin season anymore for the time. For the meantime, but I do think that the altcoin season is going to be a little bit different than the past, okay? Because there's different things going on right now, and it's more dependent on the price of Bitcoin. So everything's going to, Bitcoin's like a magnet, and it's going to bring everything else up. In a year or two, we're going to see them start to reorganize themselves and then have an altcoin season, but not until everything plays out in the world, on the world stage. So I think the altcoin season will go along with the Bitcoin season in the next couple months. Okay, thank you for that question. What influencers are going to end up in legal troubles first for promoting crypto scams? My money is on BitBoy. Well, there'll be a few. There was a little news story that I saw on that situation about promoting items that are scams and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure of BitBoy. I have seen his channel and watched a couple of his videos. I'm not a big viewer of his. Let's just have a look at BitBoy himself. I'm not sure what he was promoting exactly, so. So I think he's going to be just fine. He's going to be a lot of that news cycle is kind of just that. It's just a little bit of smoke and mirrors and scaring people away from certain projects. Okay. Even though these projects, if they're really promoting them hugely and they're not Bitcoin, then I would really, really look into them. I don't think any of them are going to get any legal situation, but I do think their viewership is going to go pretty low. Okay. I'm not entirely sure of every scam that's out there for cryptocurrencies, but there's a lot. And if you have somebody promoting a particular system a lot, it's probably some type of scam. Okay. But I don't see any legal ramifications of any of that sort of thing. Okay. Thank you for the question. Is American Shiba a good investment for this year? Again, careful with anything with Shiba or Inu. Okay. Because it's just people trying to manipulate you into getting their coin. Okay. Because it has the Shiba or the Inu part of the name. Okay. And everybody, oh, it's the Shiba Inu clone to get into. Be aware of that. We're at the crypto meeting, and many people say that they got into these smaller cryptocurrencies and lost lots of money. And if they had just left their money in Bitcoin, they would have done much, much better. I'll say that again. If they had left their money in Bitcoin, okay, overall, they would have done much, much better. So let that sink in. And they also talk about Litecoin and Ethereum and that sort of thing. They get into the smaller coins and they lose their shirts overall because they're thinking of the long-term investment, not the short-term. Some of them do it for short-term. So American Shiba might be really good for the short-term if you know how to play that game. But for long-term, probably not. Okay? And you probably would have made more money if you just left it in Bitcoin. But let's throw some cards down for it. For American Shiba, yeah, it's just we got that Temple card, and we got the everybody's walking away card from a situation, meaning they were excited about it in the very beginning, which happens to most new cryptocurrency. Everybody gets excited about it and they buy all in, and then they find out the truth of it. It's not as good as they thought it was. And they start to walk away. Okay? Because people are tied to the fast money. Always go for the long run unless you know how to play the game on the short-term gains. Okay? You buy it very quickly, and then when it goes a certain amount, you sell. Okay? That's that. That's a whole different ball of wax. Okay? I know people who do that, and they make lots of money doing that, but you have to know how to play that game. And that's not what this channel is about. We're always looking for the long term, the long game. Okay? So, yeah, you're going to be making some quick money with American Shiba, but it's not a long-term thing. It's not going to last that 5-10 years that I always look at. Okay? So, Bitcoin Black. They had a Bitcoin Black already launched many years ago. And I guess they're relaunching or something. And we've had this question before. It's a little confusing because I was under the impression that there's already a Bitcoin Black, which was already out. And that was years ago. So, Bitcoin Black, will it launch? Maybe it's a relaunch or revamping of the thing. Yeah, it's going to be really, really late. And when it does come out, it's probably not going to do all that well. Okay. It's going to be one of those short-term money grab things. Okay. And I'd be very careful. And going back to the statement, my friends at the cryptocurrency meetup, might as well just left your money in the Bitcoin. You would have done much, much better. Okay.
So when? Says when?
I see it a couple months after their launch date. It's riddled with problems behind the scenes. Okay. It's not something that I would bank on. Okay. If you're skilled, maybe within the year or so when it does launch, you might make some quick bucks with it, but it's not a long-term thing. Okay. Thank you for that. 3-card reading on my financial future. Pizza money incoming. Are you buying pizza with your Bitcoin?
He's giving us money, so we can buy pizza.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Cool. The wife will be excited. I'll be excited. So a lot of the confusion that you had previously, I think it's going to be going away. You're going to be making the right connections mentally and physically. You just got to remember it's the long journey. Okay? You made all the good decisions. You did everything right. Now you just got to be patient. I know everybody wants it now. I want it now. Well, you can't get it now. It's the long journey. This is what me and the wife keep saying. You buy it, you sit on it, and you wait. Okay? And you focus on other things because it'll drive you batty. But your cards are saying that you did all the right things and you just have to be patient for the payout. Okay? Don't jump the gun. That's also coming to mind. Don't sell everything at the last on a whim. All right? Just be patient, relax, focus on other things. Okay. Thank you for that question. When will GLQ Graphlinq crypto reach the bottom and start heading up again? Okay. Oh, the timelines would be, I think the fake out is going to be happening very, very soon. I don't know exact time, but it's going to be within July, August, somewhere in there. And then it's going to start to climb down or go down with all the other cryptos. And then within the fall time, it's going to start to go back up. Okay. That's as pinpointy that I can get. Okay. It wouldn't be exact. So if you have your buy and sell orders lined up, if you doing trades, August would be the time probably, but it's not based on the time, it's based on the price normally for doing trades. So if you're doing trades, it'd be in the August time. Okay, that it's gonna go boop boop. And beyond that, it's gonna start to go up. a little bit, following the Bitcoin price. Okay, just follow the Bitcoin price, and then you'll figure out everything else if you're doing the trades. Okay, thank you for that question. I got my pizza money. Thank you. Hi, Andre. Do you know about the CERN activity next week? No. If you're talking about the CERN collider or whatever it's called, me personally, no. Let's see what the cards say. Oh, that's the Hadron Collider. CERN would be a coin, I'm assuming. For whatever this is, there seems to be some good times coming for it. There's some people watching it very closely and capitalizing on that situation going forward. So if you're watching the CERN, whatever it is, there's going to be some good times coming with this one. It may do a little jump and then very short term activity within that blockchain if it is a crypto. And it's going to be a bit more regulated than before. So I'm picking up that it's going to suit it well. Actually, we got the Sun card with that. Okay. And we got the Queen of Cups, which is, to me, it's something really focused on that situation. Okay. They're waiting. Okay. So in the next week, there may be a nice jump in its market price. Okay. And of course, everybody's going to be buying in. The LAHC. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but whatever the vibration you were giving me from that question, it would apply to what I just read. Okay, so it'd be the same. Okay, thank you. You've been wanting to quit your present job for a really long time now. Recently, I'm going through a lot of mental trauma. Should I just run away? Okay. I'm just getting the feeling that you kind of put yourself in the middle of the chaos. And we have to remember not to put ourselves into situations that don't suit us. Not necessarily running away from a situation, but don't be in the way of the incoming punch, right? The best learning kung fu, the best way to defend against an attack is not to be in line of the punch or kick. Okay, so don't put yourself in situations that you're going to be in the target of the thing. Okay. I think there's a little bit of a holding pattern, and find your space within where you are, the long-term position that you have, and positioning yourself in a better situation so that you do not take the brunt of everything that's going on around you. I have this feeling that you kind of the person that puts themselves in the harm's way. Well, not harm, but you do it intentionally or unintentionally. So learn to not attach yourself to that energy and to redirect that energy elsewhere. Okay, and let it pass you. Do not attach yourself to that energy. Okay. Be a good situation to sparkle up your resumes and stuff like that if the problem persists. And trying to put the word out there. Okay. Don't do anything. I'm picking up. Don't do anything hasty. Okay. But build up to that. Start moving in that direction, putting that energy out there for that situation to happen. There is another job out there for you, but you have to go through the steps in order to get that new position elsewhere. But for the meantime, I think learn to duck and dodge and not put yourself into situations that will put you in alignment with that punch to the nose. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you. It's just what I'm picking up for you. Okay, hopefully that helps you. Can I get a 3-card reading for this month? You sure can. Poe. It's an interesting name. So, now there's going to be an abrupt change for your next month. Okay, so July. You could be figuring something out. You thought it was going to be gone. Okay, this certain situation, and you turn it around. We got the Death card, but it's reversed. Death card doesn't necessarily mean actual death, and means a change in direction or an abrupt change to your situation. But it's reversed, right? Instead of being upright, it was upside down. So you're going to be figuring out this situation that you thought was dire. Okay. And you're going to be switching it around for your benefit. The celebrations won't be for quite some time, but you're going to be, what's the term? Pulling it out of the fire. Okay. And in order to move forward with it, whatever this situation is. Okay. So you're going to be just fine. You're going to figure out a solution to the problem that you were facing. And I think it's when you refocus your mind on it, you're going to find the solution very quickly. Okay. And you're going to turn that situation around quite quickly as well. So hopefully that helps you out. Your life. Oh, that's a big reading. Well, okay, I'll give you the short version. If you like to get a bigger version of your life reading, make sure you go to secondreadsbyhenry.com and we can have a personal reading over Skype or whatever thing you like to use to talk over the internet. And we'll get into that a little later. But we'll give you the short, abridged version of your life in 3 cards. Stop procrastinating. You have a lot of good ideas. You're ready to march forward, but you always start killing it in your own mind because you don't think, because you got the good old death card. Doesn't mean it's your death. It means it's an abrupt change, and it was right side up. You have great ideas, you have great plans, but you do not implement them. Okay. On the 3rd card was our 2 of Wands. You're looking for the right situation. Okay. The right way of doing things instead of just doing them. Okay. Success in life there's a lot of people who wait for the perfect solution to come along before they take action. The success comes to people who start the action and learn as they're doing. It's like doing a YouTube channel. When I first started, it wasn't perfect. Okay. If you're waiting for perfection, you're going to be waiting a long, long time. And as I went along in my YouTube career, I just kept making changes as I went along. Well, that didn't work. Do this instead. So this is what I'm picking up from you. And you kind of kill your own momentum. Okay, represented by the death card. So you got the ideas, you have the know-how, just get started. Okay, and stop waiting for the perfect scenario for yourself. Okay, hopefully that helps you out. And we're at the hour. Anything else that's we need to look at?
Can wait till next show.
Can wait till next show. Okay. We have word from the wife. Okay. So it'll be on that Tuesday show. Just a reminder that we do lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central. And I said Saturday, Sunday to 10. And Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark down your calendar. If you like a personal reading with me, make sure you go to psychicreadingsbyandre.com. Right? Instead of trying to get your whole life squished into 3 cards. So there's that. If you like to protect your cryptocurrencies in the best possible way, go to the same website, and we have a link to an affiliate for Trezor. Okay, so make sure you go down there if you are serious about protecting your cryptocurrencies in the best possible way. We're back here on Tuesday at 5:30, so make sure you mark it down in your calendar, and make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future.